All right, folks. Today's Reddit story comes from r/relationships, where our protagonist, a 31-year-old lady, is experiencing a major life dilemma. With the onset of some serious butterflies from a new coworker and an inattentive husband, it's a whirlwind of emotions and uncertainty that has OP questioning if she should choose her husband or her new crush. Alrighty, let's dive in. I'm emotionally cheating on my husband with a woman from work. Posted by Throwaway Borge. Hey, Reddit, long-time lurker, first-time poster. I could really do with some advice as I don't have anyone to talk to about this. I hope I'm writing this the correct way, so for some background, I, female 31, am married to Bob, male 33, and we've been together over 13 years. He's been my first everything in life. In the beginning of our relationship, things were great and we've built a comfortable life together. I guess over the years, things have become a little stagnant, but I just assumed that was the natural progression of marriage. Naturally, the next step we've been considering is children. We've not been not trying, but we've also not been going out of our way to make it happen. However, I'm seriously considering going back on contraception because of a new relationship which has begun to unfold. And this is where I need the advice. 6 months ago, a new woman started at my workplace, Jane, female 30. She had come in on a temp role to cover a maternity leave. She became popular with the team. She's very chatty, warm, and likable, and fitted in straight away. We quickly became very fast friends. I noticed whenever we are working together, she would always take the closest desk to wherever I was, and vice versa. I started to find myself getting that little bit more excited about going into work because I would get to see her. There is never a dull silence when we are together. We are always laughing, giggling, and just having fun. We take lunch together, after work drinks together, and she is just that best friend I've never had before. Even growing up, I was quite shy and always envied my little sister with her outgoing nature and having a huge group of best mates. We also have a friendship out of work. She invited me for a hike a few weeks ago. I have been craving to go hiking for so long and Bob won't go with me. I asked him once for my birthday if we could take one hike and he said he would organize something. He didn't, and we had ended up in the pub all day, and when I asked when we were going for my birthday hike, he had said he couldn't be bothered. On my birthday? Really? Since becoming friends with Jane, we have done lots of outdoor things together which I've always wanted to do, but have been too shy to do alone. We message a lot and have confided in each other. I have told her that my relationship with Bob feels stale, that he doesn't want to do anything together, and if I suggest something different, he just says I can go without him. He just wants to drink at the pub, watch TV, or chill at home. I don't mind that sometimes, but I want more. I like being outside and being busy. I have confided in Jane that all the things we are doing together are things I wish Bob would do with me. She has always extended the invitation, but he always says, no thanks. Obviously, as our friendship has deepened, I have found out more about Jane. She returned home after living in Australia for 2 years. She was in a pretty serious relationship out there with another woman, Kelly. But Jane had to return home because her father passed away suddenly. The relationship breakdown was tough for Jane because she had to face the sudden death of her dad, but also finish the relationship with Kelly. I have found myself thinking about Jane more and more, talking about her more and more. One of my friends even made a joke that I have a crush on her. The small group I was with all laughed and agreed. I of course played it off, and I felt embarrassed because maybe I had talked about her too much, but it got me asking myself, do I have a crush on Jane? I find myself thinking about her often, and I feel those flutters when I am going to work, and know I'll get to see her, or get a bit giddy when we are going to meet up. I hug her a little bit longer when we see each other and say goodbye. I get excited when I see she's messaged me, and I have even dreamed about her. A couple of weeks ago, it was my birthday. It fell on a Monday, so not a very exciting day granted. I'd already arranged with my parents to see them the following weekend for belated presents. My husband was extremely busy Monday, and he had said he had a big meeting. Anyway, I didn't get an acknowledgement, a card, or a text. I went to work, and Jane had already arrived and handed me a gift bag and card inside, and some of my favorite chocolates from a handmade place down the road, which is really good. She also added a few other very thoughtful and personalized little things that only someone who knows me would think to get. She even took me for lunch and got me a little cake from my favorite bakery. I didn't tell her about my husband, but when she asked what our plans for the evening were, I didn't know what to tell her. I made an excuse and moved on. When I drove home that night, a little part of me had worked up the expectation that perhaps he had arranged something special for me when I got home, maybe even a surprise party. I had even stupidly convinced myself that this was the case, so much that I was really excited. When I walked through the door, nothing, not a damn thing. He was slobbed in front of the TV drinking a beer. He even had the audacity to say, "You're a bit late. What's for dinner?" I told him, "Forget it. I'm going out." He turned to look at me and was so pissed and said he'd had the worst day at work and was starving. I didn't say a thing. I just got in my car and drove off. I drove straight to Jane's. Needless to say, she was very surprised when I walked up, but she welcomed me with open arms. We cracked open a bottle of wine and she ordered some takeaway, and she got a few giggles out of me once I had calmed down. She didn't badmouth my husband once, just listened. My phone started blowing up. My husband was sending tons of apologies. The penny had finally dropped. My mom was also calling, so I put two and two together and that she had reminded him what day it was. The rest of the week, I was flooded with flowers and gifts from my husband. It was his way of apologizing. We have the weekend at my parents' to celebrate my belated birthday, but it all feels fake and awkward from him. At some point, the topic of kids gets brought up. My husband proudly exclaims, "It shouldn't be long," and winks around the table. I feel sick. And so here I am. I know I am already emotionally cheating on my husband with Jane, and I don't even feel sorry about it. The more I think about it, the more I realize how neglectful he has been, how I do everything in my power to please him. I make him feel special, and I've sacrificed so much to make him happy and valued. I have gotten nothing in return for literal years. In the span of a few months, Jane has made me feel more special and wanted than he has in the last 5 years, and without even trying, I think. And if I'm being honest, yes, I do have a crush on her. She really does give me butterflies and a giddy buzz that I have never ever felt in my life. I find that I'm thinking about her, missing her when I'm not with her. I feel crazy for feeling this way, but I have never felt like this about anyone ever. I don't know what to do, Reddit. Even if I did split from my husband, there's no guarantee Jane will even feel the same way. I know she is still hurting from her ex, and maybe she just sees me as a friend. Or do I continue with my husband? Really try to make it work, even though I feel like I've tried everything. Things change for a week or two, but we slip back to the same old ways. Do we have a baby? Would it bring us together? Oh, I don't know. I'm so sorry for the babbling, but I am at a loss. I have nobody I can speak to about this, so even one tiny comment could help me right now. I will try to answer any questions, thank you. Now, before we dive into this, I need to make something clear. I'm not a relationship guru. If you're looking for advice from someone who's got it all figured out, I hate to break it to you, but I'm probably not your guy. Now, on to the advice you didn't ask for, but I'm going to give anyway. Your hubby Bob, bless his heart, sounds like he's taken a masterclass in how to be completely oblivious 101. I mean, forgetting your own wife's birthday? Really, Bob? Really? And then trying to redeem himself with flowers and gifts? Talk about a Band-Aid solution. But let's talk about the main event here. Jane, first of all, Jane, your professional lifesaver and part-time hiking buddy. I'm getting serious. You've got a friend in me vibes here. And then boom, you drop the "I have a crush on her" bomb, and suddenly it's like we're in an episode of The Bold and the Beautiful. To quote the great philosopher Justin Bieber, "My mama don't like you, and she likes everyone." But seriously, the fact that you've recognized you're emotionally cheating is a big step, and it's clear that you're not happy in your marriage. But a word of advice: don't let the butterflies dictate your actions. Crushes are like fireworks. They're exciting and all-consuming, but they also tend to burn out fast. And while your husband might be acting like he's got the personality of a doorknob right now, remember that there was a time when you chose him. Now, about the baby thing, dear Lord, no. Adding a baby into a problematic relationship is like adding water to an oil fire. It's just going to explode. Figure out your life first and then think about whether you want to bring another life into this world. In the end, it's your call, and no matter what happens, remember that it's okay to put your happiness first. The most important relationship you have is the one with yourself. Now, I'm not saying you should pack up and run away with Jane into the sunset. But hey, if that happens, make sure you share the story on Reddit. I'll be waiting for the update. Hey, wait! As always, don't forget to kindly tap the like button, share, subscribe, and let me know in the comments below what you would have done if you were in this situation. Stay safe out there in that crazy world. Much love, peace.